Hello kids, myself Lata Khoth, your science teacher. I hope you all are safe in home. Kids, stay in home. Okay? Don't go, don't roam here and there. You all are be safe in home. Stay in home. Okay? See, we are going to start revision classes. This year, it is a new academic year, no? Before going to start the new academic year's new portion, we are going to revise the previous class some topics. Okay? So let us see here. Food for plants. In this lesson, kids, we learned the different parts of the plant and food factory. In a plant, which part is the food factory of plant? Leaves. Leaves are the food factories of the plant. Photosynthesis and interdependence of plants and animals in nature. Okay, kids? Now see, plants are a very important part of the natural environment. They are the only living things that not only produce their own food, they provide food for the other living things as well. Anyone feed the plants? Feed the crops? Feed the trees? No. Nobody feed the plants. Plants are prepare their own food. Not only produce their own food, they provide food for other living things as well. Understood, no? Okay. How they produce their own food and where they produce their food, we are going to see. See kids, it is the leaf. It is called the food factory of the plant. Leaf is the food factory of the plant. Leaves are generally broad and flat so that they can receive more sunlight. The leaf is attached to the stem by a stalk or petiole. The leaf blade or lamina is the broad flat part of the leaf. It has a main vein called the midrib going through the center of the leaf. There is a network of thin veins connecting the main vein. There are also very tiny pores called the stomata. Singular stoma. Mostly on the lower surface of these leaves. Breathe in and breathe out air through the stomata. Trees, plants breathe through their stoma or stomata. They are present lower surface of leaves. Leaves are the food factory of plants. The leaves of plant prepare food for it and thus called the food factory of plants. Say kids, leaves are not in a same size, same shape. Different plants have different size, shape This one, leaves. They have different size leaves. Some trees have different size, shape leaves. Someone's leaves are big, someone's leaves are flat, long, short. Different trees have different types of leaves. Look in this picture. So many kinds of leaves are there. Yes or no? Yes, correct. See, different types are there, this one. Not a same type are there leaves. Now, what do plants need for preparing food? How they will prepare a food? Just like your mama preparing food, so that she wants lots of things to prepare, vegetables, okay, to prepare a one recipe or one item, this one food. She wants lots of things. For example, if you want to prepare a vegetable, so that you need a vegetable, oil, salt, chili, so many things you are need to prepare a one food recipe. That type, plants also need some things to prepare a food. What do plants need for preparing food? We are going to learn. Already we are learned this one, but now we are going to revise. This process means preparation of food. This process is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the food preparation in plants. Look here kids in this picture. Plants need several things to make their own food. They need chlorophyll, a green pigment found in the leaves. Already green pigment it is in there. So that we are seeing the green color leaves. They also need adequate sunlight, air, soil and water. Plants have green leaves. Most of the plants have green leaves. Plants prepare food in their leaves. The process of making food by plants in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water is called a photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means combining or making, preparing, making, combining. See kids, it is the plant. These are the leaves, fruit. These parts of the plant you all of you know. And how it get oxygen from where? When photosynthesis taking place, oxygen is in atmosphere. The oxygen is in atmosphere, but it takes oxygen in photosynthesis time? No, it needs photosynthesis when take place. That time the plants need carbon dioxide and leave oxygen. I will explain you kids this one. The process of photosynthesis is present as, look here, carbon dioxide plus water from carbon dioxide is also present in air, atmosphere, oxygen also is present, but oxygen is not taking inside, oxygen is leave out. The plants prepare oxygen and this is a leave out, means they throw, means they spread the oxygen outside, take a carbon dioxide inside. Light energy from the sun and it converts into glucose and oxygen. Glucose is the food of the plant and oxygen it release into atmosphere and we are breathing that one oxygen. See kids, during the day chlorophyll present in the leaves trap the sunlight from the sun. We are getting sunlight from sun, no? During the day, the leaves of the plant trap the sunlight. Leaves also take in carbon dioxide from the air. Sunlight trapped from the sun and the carbon dioxide from the air. The roots absorb the essential nutrients and water and salt from the soil and transport to the leaves. The plant thus prepare the food in its leaves. This is called the photosynthesis, and in this time, in photosynthesis, they release oxygen. They release the oxygen into air. They take carbon dioxide from air and release the oxygen into air. And glucose also they produce. So that is called the food of the plant. Understood, no? And if they are produce the more food, they store in the stem, roots, fruits that we are eating. They are producing their own food along with they provide food for other living things. Understood, no kids? How food prepared for us and how food prepared for plants too. Okay? Interdependence of plant and animals. Means plants and animals depends on each other. Plants depends on animals and animal depends on plants. They both are depend on each other. Plants depend on animals because how? We'll see. Plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide. Plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide and animals depend on plants for oxygen. Now, just I explained you in the process of photosynthesis, plants take on a carbon dioxide and release a oxygen. Yes or no, kids? Plants use this carbon dioxide to prepare food and release a oxygen. That oxygen animals breathe in and release carbon dioxide. They also depend on animals for plants also depends for animals for dispersal of seeds, and animals depend on plants for food. Animals getting a food from plants, not only oxygen. Animals depend only for oxygen, not on plant. Animals depend on plants for oxygen as well as food too. Understood, no? Not for only oxygen. Animals getting a food from plants. This type interdependence of plants and animals is there. Animals depends on plant. Animals depends on plant. Plant depends on animals. Animals depend on plants. Animals depends on plants. How? Plants provide oxygen first, and second, plants provide food. Again, plants provide a shelter for birds, some wild animals. Plants provide a shelter for wild animals, birds. Yes or no, kids? This is the interdependence of plants and animals. Now we are going to learn, revise balance in nature. Balance in nature. We have seen how living things in nature, means it may be plants or it may be animals, it may be insects, birds, so on, are interdependent. An increase or decrease in their proportions can affect the overall balance of living things on the earth. We can prevent this by protecting our plants and animals too. We should protect our plants as well as animals too. Man has cut down entire forest, thereby destroying a plant life. When forests are wiped out, the animal's life that lives there is forced to leave their place, natural habitat, in search of food, water, shelter, and more often they get killed or die of starvation, and that animals enter the cities, enter the our areas, means where human being lives. If you are destroy the forest, the wild animals enter to your areas in search of food and shelter. Lesser trees would lead to lower oxygen levels in air. It would also lead to death of the animals that are dependent on plants. Lesser herbivores will create the scarcity of food for the carnivores, thus affecting the entire chain of living things. This type interdependence of plants and animals will help to balance in nature. Understood, no kids? We have just seen how all living beings are interdependent and how important it is for the maintain a proper balance of plant life and animal life. Kids, one organization, some organizations are there, but one organization, Sankalpataru is one of the organization, non-governmental organization is there, that encourages more people and organizations to plant more trees across India. Which one organization that means? Sankalpataru is a non-governmental organization that encourages more people and more organization to plant more trees across India. This organization has planted over 236,000 trees in all and continues to do so to make the earth greener. This Sankalpataru organization planted over 236,000 trees in all, and still it continues to do so to make the earth greener. Understood, no kids? Which organization is encouraging the peoples and organization to plant the more trees? Sankalpataru. Okay? Thank you, kids.